Hello and welcome back to a brand new team building session. This time we're here with one of the newer Pokemon for certain, because Magearna was just released. Say it how you like, I'm calling it Magearna. We're going to call it Iron Maiden together though, because that's a beautiful nickname. But this Pokemon was just released, so I figured now would be the best time to make a team builder around it, to be honest. It's probably the best time. So the set I'm going to be running, as you can see in front of you, first of all, we're holding an air balloon, because Steel Fairy typing. Let's just start right at the basics. Steel Fairy typing for this Pokemon. Brilliant typing, only weak to ground and fire. With an air balloon, it's only weak to fire, so honestly, an absolutely phenomenal typing for a mythical Pokemon to get. We are going to be running a Shift Gear set on this Pokemon, which last week we got absolutely destroyed by, so I'm excited to use it for myself. We're going to be running Flash Cannon, Dazzling Gleam, and Hidden Power Ground, mainly for fire types, such as Alolan Marowak. There's Chandelure running around, there's Salazzle that I would love to just demolish with a Hidden Power Ground, that sounds fun, and Pokemon like that. There are also some other Pokemon like Toxapex that just resist our main stab, so Hidden Power Ground is just nice coverage. It's not the strongest move by any means, Earth Power would be nice, but Hidden Power Ground is nice as well, it's just a little bit weaker. So our ability Soul Heart means anytime that a Pokemon faints, whether it be our own Pokemon, if we were in doubles, or any enemy Pokemon, that we don't even have to be the one to KO them. But if a Pokemon faints, we got a special attack raised by one stage. So it's a brilliant Pokemon in doubles, but we're going to use it in singles as well, because I think it has potential. And that's where the Shift Gear comes in. Shift Gear, we double our speed, which I have put some pretty specific EVs into, because this is how I personally want to run it. In fact, that's even a little bit wrong. That is even a little bit wrong. I want 220 speed. I don't know how... in fact, I think I want like... Do I want 221? Whatever Pheromosa's speed is, I like to just outspeed Pheromosa. That's how I like to EV this. But we'll get into that later. I may have messed that up a little bit already, but we'll get into that later. So, the EVs are pretty simple, to be honest. You want to max that special attack so you can get as much out of Soul Heart as possible. You KO a Pokemon with a Shift Gear up, you're then like the fastest thing possible. You just start sweeping. You just start sweeping everything. So, to build defensively around this, it's pretty simple, because we're only really weak to fire. So, that being said, ground does bother us a little bit, but there's a Pokemon that I absolutely love. The first Pokemon that I actually got shiny in this game, and that is Araquanid. Technically, Dewpider was the first shiny that I hunted for, got on like 41 shiny encounters, but we don't care about that. We're here for the team builder, we're here for this damn powerful Pokemon. Now, lovely defensive stats, 92 defense, 132 special defense, that's great. HP, a little bit lower, 68, we can work with it though. Its attack being 70 is a little low. It's a little bit low, but its ability Water Bubble, which is a phenomenal ability to get, doubles its water type moves in terms of power. I think that goes on top of Stab. I could be wrong. This could be like Adaptability, but I'm pretty sure this goes on top of Stab, so you're like getting a very, very powerful water type attack. And firepower against its halved, so this does technically resist fire. And that's brilliant. That's what we're looking for right here. We're going to quite happily run the Liquidation, because it's a strong move when it's boosted by Water Bubble. It's really strong. We're going to run the Leech Life for recovery. It's not a lot, but it's something. It's a good move now. We're going to run the Poison Jab for Tapus, because I just saw this. This was better than like the set I was running before. I don't remember the set I was running before. I think I was running Miracle. Yeah, I think it's Miracle. Miracle is also an option. If you do think you're going to get hit by a strong special attack and you want to return, just blow something up with Miracle, feel free to run that. I'm personally going to be running Poison Jab because I feel like I just want to smack Tapu Koko. I see Tapu Koko coming in on this thing. The Tapus are very prominent in OU right now, from what I have seen and what I have played personally. You may not have experienced it, you may have just experienced Scarf Circuitries a lot. That's also a thing that I've experienced. And I think we're going to run Rest. I think we're just going to run a little bit of recovery on this. Not the best recovery, but we can see how that goes. We aren't actually going to be running attack. We're going to be running mostly special defense investment, because we're going to try and make you as specially bulky as possible. I kind of like that. I don't know how hard that is going to be hitting, but if we just assume double damage on Liquidation, we can just assume this is like a 350 base attack Pokemon, which, that's pretty strong. That is pretty strong, and we will give you the leftovers for a little bit more recovery. We could give you Chesto Berry if you are going to run Rest. We could give you a Chesto Berry. I think we're going to run Chesto Berry, Resto Chesto. Always a lovely set. You are going to be called AR. What is a name that begins with AR? Arnold. You're being called Arnold the Arachnid. Yep. Oh, that name. Oh, that name doesn't fit in the slightest. That's probably why I love it so much. Okay, and we're going to grab a physical wall to pair with that, so that we can have a safe switch in if Arnold is getting battered and bruised. And normally I've been running Palisand quite a lot for my defensive wall. Don't know if that's going to go well. I really don't. I do like its stat distribution. I love its stat distribution, very similar to Slowbro, as I pointed out in one of the previous team builders. But at the same time, I have not had a lot of luck with it. I also need to change this to its shiny form, because hell yes, it's shiny. Oh, does it really not show it? Its shiny is like a purple-red kind of vibe going on it, but sadly Showdown is not showing it right now, and I don't know why. That's kind of sad. But anyway, does this have shiny? This has a shiny. This has the King Yellow Shovel. Okay. So I'm not sure about if I want to run Palisand, or if I want to try a different kind of Pokemon. I kind of want a ground type, because that would resist the things we're weak to, which is mainly electric. We're kind of weak to rock. We're weak to flying, so a rock ground type is pretty much a really nice swap. However, I am worried about those pesky electric types that do get access to things like Energy Ball. So I kind of want something that can take an Energy Ball and take an electric type attack. Because that's generally what we're going to be swapping out on. Which would be... what kind of... First of all, is there a ground type that we could run defensively that is not weak to Energy Ball? Oh, that's a chore, that is. That is not a nice thing to look for. Defensive Garchomp, not what I'm feeling like running. Honestly, Gliscor would be lovely right now. Gliscor would be so lovely, because it's only weak to water and ice, which are just completely walled by basically Iron Maiden as well, that even resists ice. So Gliscor would be a lovely thing to run, but sadly Pokebank is not out yet. When Pokebank is out though, that's going to be fun. Until then, we could run like Mudsdale. I have not used a Mudsdale yet, and I am very excited to try it. Its HP is actually quite a bit better, and its defense is like the same. It just doesn't get that recovery that Palisand does. Do you get anything in terms of recovery other than rest? I really don't think it does. I really don't think it does. I feel like I might be trying to look for something. I mean, we could run the rest. We can run rest, although double rest is a little bit much. So I might swap this set about and just have rest on Mudsdale instead. I feel like instead we could have leftovers on this guy. So set changes, set changes. We'll get rid of rest on you, and we will run... There's not a whole lot of move variety here. We could run Toxic. We could whittle for some things down with just a random Toxic. Because honestly, for the very, very strong majority of the time on this Pokemon, we are going to be quicking... Quicking? We're going to be quicking Liquidation, apparently. I'm pretty sure we're going to be clicking it, but we might be quicking it as well, who knows. We'll run the Toxic, and we will run Rest on Mudsdale, because I just feel like it has a lot more sustain. This is also a fun Pokemon to run Assault Vest, if you're curious about like actually making a team around this, but we're running this defensively. We're running the Earthquake. We could run the Heavy Slam, honestly. This thing is really fat, as far as I'm aware. And that does hit Fairies. I am way too worried about Fairies when I don't really need to be. We're just going to run Rock Slide, we're going to run Rest. And do we just want to, like, go all in with something like Superpower or Close Combat? I don't think we do. For a defensive Pokemon, we don't want Close Combat. That's pretty much a good rule to stick by. Don't run defensive lowering moves on your wall. Got it. We'll try. Earthquake Rock Slide is basically perfect coverage between them, because anything that we cannot hit with Earthquake, we can hit with Rock Slide, for neutral at least. So that's nice. Last move is pretty much Preference then. And it might sound weird, but I'm really tempted to run Raw. Purely to phase things that try and set up on us. Does anything set up on a Mudsdale? I don't think anything sets up on a Mudsdale. I think we just run the Heavy Slam for Fairies. I might be a little bit too worried about Fairies right now, because we can kind of check them, but we're going to run it, because we don't have a lot else we can run. And do we want to run Max Attack? Or do we actually want to put some defensive investment into this? Because it does get the ability Stamina. So every time it's attacked, its defense is going to go up. Meaning, I think a nice, like, 280 defense, I feel like that's plenty. I feel like that is plenty of defense. If anything, that might be more defense than we need. We're going to run it. We're going to see how that goes. We're going to run a Chesto Berry on you, because we got rid of that on the other Pokemon, meaning Resto Chesto Mudsdale is here. I have no name for Mudsdale. We will leave that. We will leave that for a bit. I'll try and come up with something fun. So, what else can we stick on this team that is powerful? At the moment, we have a fast special attacker. Technically, it requires setup, but it is a fast special attacker. We have 2 physical. I would like something just fast and physical. Maybe a setup physical? I don't know. Fast physical Pokemon Dragonite? Yeah, that's pretty good. That is a pretty good Pokemon to have. What about weaknesses? Before we get into anything, let's look at weaknesses. What are we gonna have problems against as a whole with this team? Fire is a little bit of a problem still. Say there's a physical fire type, we're not gonna be having the best time. If there's an electric type with Energy Ball, which I did not really check very well actually, now that I think about it, I would still like something to... Basically, I'm seeing a Dragon type being really useful. So honestly, Dragonite, you're really tempting me. What other Dragon types are there? Is there any, like... Mega Salamence, I am 100% sure went to Ubers. Yeah, Mega Salamence is gone, so that's one option out. That would have been very powerful, but that's the reason it went to Ubers. Zygarde Complete is in Ubers, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why that's coming up as new. Probably just because I typed in Dragon and filled up there. No, Salamence went to Ubers. Why is this... I swear this thing got sent to Ubers. Like a week ago. Right. Well, okay, fine. Zygarde Complete I don't think we can use, personally. I feel like Power Construct is banned, but sure, that's apparently there. Don't click that. I think we're just going to run the Dragonite, because honestly, I'm a big fan of Dragonite. I have not used one of these in a hell of a long time. We're going to call you Barney, because it's the stupidest name I can think of for a derpy little Dragonite face. And do we run the weakness policy set with Dragon Dance? Do we want weakness policy? Or do we want a Lumberry? Do we want weakness policy or Lumberry? We can't get extreme speed, I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to quickly check this. I don't think we can get extreme speed, because it's from a generation before. We cannot learn extreme speed. Okay, good to know, good to know. Just before I double check, just make sure. We're going to run Dragon Claw for a nice reliable stab that does not lock us in like Outrage, because fairies are a thing. I've had a lot of thing about fairies so far, but yeah, you don't want to get Outrage anymore. Outrage is not that good. We can run Earthquake, I guess. I don't really see a problem with running Earthquake. Kind of want to run the Fire Punch. Also kind of want to run the Dragon Dance in case we can get us up. Because lots of people are liking to stall at the moment. I've noticed a lot of stall. So I'm thinking we're going to run Lumberry Dragon Dance. Weakness policy is very tempting. We're definitely running multi-scale. 100% running multi-scale. I think we're running Fire Punch for coverage. Like, I just kinda like this set. I kinda like it. We are gonna run Jolly, I feel, because lots of Pokemon have high speed at the moment. There's a lot of high speed Pokemon running around. Pheromosa, what? So I think I'd prefer Jolly. +1, I don't know if that does outspeed Pheromosa. I did not mean to click that. Do you mind? I wanted to click that. Pheromosa. Let's get into having a look at this problem. So what did your speed go to? Because you are basically the fastest thing in the game right now. There's like Ninjask, but Ninjask is not threatening. So 441. So this set will outspeed, which is nice. Barney, you will not outspeed even if you are Jolly. Meaning we may want you Adamant. So actually, slight change again. We're going to change you to Adamant and we're going to run you like that and you're going to be fine. So Lumberry Dragonite, nice and powerful. Yes, please. Pheromosa, honestly, I'm kind of tempted to keep you on the team just because you are the fastest thing, really. I'm kind of fine with this. Do we want a Life Orb or do we want to run a Z move on you? Because I'm pretty sure you get Ice Beam. First of all, you get U-Turn. You're definitely one of the best U-Turners, Pheromosa. Congrats. Lots of people like to nickname you this. Don't know if I 100% agree with it, but I'll roll with it for the moment because it's another nickname. We will run High Jump Kick. We'll run the Ice Beam for coverage because honestly, it's like the only coverage this thing gets. It does not get much coverage, which, with these stats, I can understand why it doesn't get much coverage. That's fair. So we are kind of lacking coverage as a whole on this team, so our last Pokemon will definitely be something that can cover things. Maybe Silvally? That gets coverage and can be any type, so that's like a perfect last thing to fill into your team. But I think we can run the Poison Jab as well. I think we run the Poison Jab, because there's not a lot of other moves we could run. I'm saying that purely because I don't think there's a lot of other things that would really be useful. Maybe a Hidden Power? We could maybe run a Hidden Power on this thing. What Hidden Power, I do not know. I do like Hidden Power Ground at the moment. That is very useful at the moment. It's kind of tempting. But I think we're going to run Poison Jab. Because honestly, High Jump Kick can kind of deal with things. And I do want the Ice Crystal, to be honest. Or do I want the Fighting Crystal? I want to run an all-out powerful Z move on this person. On this nice little bug right here. I kind of want to run a Z move. We're going to make you a mixed attacker because you do have the Ice Beam. Meaning, it is purely there for coverage, but its defenses are so frail anyway. You're not really taking a hit. I would personally advise, if you are running a mixed attacking set, to run Naive, not Hasty. Because Showdown normally recommends a Hasty set, so like hit minus defense. I personally don't agree with that. And I'm going to quickly explain why, because I do feel like this is an important point for just anyone to know. Priority moves are very, 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 very often physical. Did I say very enough? I think so. The only one that isn't is like Vacuum Wave, which this Pokemon resists anyway, so we don't have to worry about it too much. But mainly, priority moves are physical. Meaning, we're not going to be running a Sash, because Stealth Rock, Necrozma is a very common thing. We could have also run Necrozma, but I'm fine with this now. So Stealth Rock, Necrozma is a thing. I don't know if that got moved to Ubers, actually. Anyway, I need to continue with what I'm saying. Things like Bullet Punch, Mark Punch, Extreme Speed, Quick Attack even, they all hit on the physical side. So if you run a negative defense nature, you are just that much more likely to actually being KO'd by the priority moves. And with this Pokemon that can U-turn out with this speed, the only thing that's really going to be hitting it is going to be priority. So I would like to have as much defense against priority as possible, meaning I'd rather run Naive and get hit by that special attack a little bit harder than get hit by that priority physical attack a little bit harder. But yeah, that's just my little take on things. Now, what do we want to run on you? Definitely not Citrus Berry. We want to run either Fighting Crystal or Ice Crystal. I'm pretty sure the Fighting Crystal will OHKO anything. We do get walled out by Toxapex, but we can U-turn on the Toxapex, that's not too much of a worry. We can go straight out into... I don't like Toxapex with this team. We're running something that can deal with Toxapex last. Maybe an Electric type. Maybe Electric type Silvally. That might just be it. We're going to run the Fightinium Z. We're going to see how that works. I've never actually, really used Z moves offensively. I've tried a few status moves, like the Z Rain Dance in the last episode on Xurkitree. That was kind of fun. Didn't work exactly as intended, but it was okay. So I kind of want to try something like that. But we're going to just go all-out power this time and see if that's any better. Because I'm still undecided on whether it's better to run a status move or just OHKO move, essentially. So, for our final Pokemon, I'm kind of going to stick with what I said. I kind of want Silvally Electric. Although we'll nickname you the exact opposite. We'll nickname you, like, Silvally... what are we to ground? We're naming you Silvally Flying. Because I have tricked people with this. Yep. I have tricked people with this, with the Arceus thing. The whole Arceus, you reverse it around. Mainly Water and Ice, people get confused. Or Psychic and Fairy. Those are the two good ones, if you want to trick people. But, I shouldn't really be talking about tricking people. We're running coverage, so... Thunderbolt, yes. This thing does have a very nice special move pool. It gets Flamethrower, yes. Ice Beam, yes. And Surf, I'm pretty sure? Yeah, that's coverage. That is some elemental coverage right there. With Ice Beam to hit dragons. Honestly, that is really nice coverage, and I see nothing wrong with just running that. It's a very simple set, but honestly, it works. It works so well. Does get access to U-turn, so we could definitely have had U-turn on this. Although we'd already have... I mean, we have one U-turner. Another U-turn is never bad, especially if this is a little bit slower. Do we want 4 points into your speed to outspeed other things? I kind of want to undercut on speed, so no. I'm happy with that set. I'm happy with that set. I think the only thing left is to nickname this Mudsdale, and we're just gonna call you... Oh, I was trying to think, like, all this time of what I could name this thing. I want Mudsdale names, by the way. If anyone can give me a Mudsdale name, please. Please. I just thought of a really bad name. we could call it Pony, like Pony Island. Like, no, come on now. You're I am older than 2 years old, actually, so I feel like I can come up with something better than that, but I don't know what to name this. I really don't. I'm trying to think of, like, what I would name a horse. I've never really named a horse, strangely enough, you know, not many people have. You know what, that's so stupid. That's such a bad name. I'm doing it, I'm running without a doubt the worst name I have ever come up with. Okay, but that looks like a team. That does look like a team. We have our Toxapex counter, which is going to be Silvally. Definitely something to keep in mind. We can also Dragon Dance Earthquake with Dragonite, so we do have other options. Plus we have Mudsdale, which can just Earthquake. We have options for it, you know what, we're not that bad. That team is valid. I do feel like our core is a little bit weak, so that could be changed. Other than that, I feel like we do have some powerful Pokemon here. I do feel confident about this team, but that's going to wrap up this team building session, so if you guys have enjoyed, leave a like down below, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, bye!